Hey everybody, Matthew Solomon here, coach with MatthewSolomon.com. Let's talk about depression. I see a lot of posts, I see a lot of sharing about healing for the feminine, healing for the masculine, a lot of healing for the feminine and more healing for the masculine, which is really great. I'm so grateful for all of the healers that are committed and putting themselves out there. In my experience, I get contacted by women all the time who are going through stuff, who are dealing with stuff, who want to talk and want to get support and want to figure their stuff out. And honestly, it's very rare that a man will contact me, and I really want to speak on behalf of men and to men and for women, so that you know you're not alone. So that you get that it's okay to reach out. And so women can understand what we're dealing with and why we do some of the things that we do. Now, it's important to note that, let's take suicide. More women than men attempt suicide, but 4 times more men than women succeed. And in my experience, women are much more schooled in talking stuff out and processing your feelings and emotions and really getting into your feelings. Like a lot of you love getting into your feelings and talking about it and hashing it out and working through it. And for men, most of us don't know how to do that. And when we start to do that, and we start to feel that shit come up, we don't know what to do with it. And we're taught to push it down. We're taught to walk it off. We're taught to suck it up. And so we internalize it and we push it down. And that turns to anger and frustration and rage. And when we're going through stuff, even me, look, I'm a man who talks about how I feel. I share a lot. I share about stuff I've been through. And I have 2 male friends that I'm comfortable talking about my feelings and emotions with. When I'm going through hard times, I'm comfortable talking to them. I'm comfortable crying, for the most part, with them. And in my mind, I only have a certain number of allowances for that, which is not true. I know I can reach out to them anytime, but in my mind, it's like, fuck, I've already been through this, 3 times. How many more breakups am I going to go through? How many more freakouts about, paying a bill am I going to go through? How many more upsets regarding, my kid having problems in school or my daughter being mad at me about something am I going to go through? And as a man who is out here as a coach, who's coaching people through this stuff, like that number gets even smaller, because it's like, what the fuck am I doing? Because I forget, and people forget, that I'm a breathing, feeling human being. And that just because I have an awesome amount of tools and an amazing amount of insight, and I affect a lot of people, that there's still the things that get me. There's still the things that crush me internally that I get to process through and recover from. And I have access to that. And a lot of men don't. And so, we sit around being taught by society that we have to have it all figured out. Have to have the money stuff straight. Have to do the relationship well. Have to show, the woman, I'm the man of the house and I got my shit together. have to have sex figured out, parenting figured out. Although, we don't really have to do the parenting thing. That's more her job, society-wise, although that's changing and shifting. But the point is, we're supposed to have it all figured out. And if we don't, we're supposed to retreat, get our shit together, handle our shit, and then move forward. And when we can't, when the pain comes up, when the grief comes up, when the sadness comes up, when the shame comes up, we have nowhere to go. We have no one to talk to, no one that we're comfortable talking to. And I felt it so bad that one time I called the suicide prevention hotline. Not because I wanted to kill myself. Because I wanted to die, and I couldn't. And I wouldn't. And I was aware in that space, look, I have 3 kids. So I'm not taking myself out because it will fuck them up. But then what do I do? Because I can't even take myself out. I have to stay in this. I have to continue to feel this. And how do I feel this? How am I going to deal with feeling this pain? And I didn't want to reach out to my friends. And my friends have dealt with their friends committing suicide, so I didn't even want to put that on the table. And I had, a support system that I would usually reach out to who were unavailable for various reasons, or unresponsive for various reasons. So I called the Agape prayer line and left a message, and nobody called me back. And I called suicide prevention. I got put on hold, but finally I got to talk to somebody. And I talked to a man. And I found that all I needed to do was just say all the shit I was dealing with. From the breakup, to the kids, to health stuff that was going on, health stuff with my family, the relationship I had been in for months that I really wanted to work. And the guy listened, and I felt better. And then he said, a bunch of stuff and gave me, a bunch of pointers. But I really just needed to talk. I needed to be able to say everything that I was feeling. And we as men don't realize we have that opportunity. Usually. If we talk to our friends, and I get that, there were people I reached out to who were just like very matter of fact, like, oh yeah, well you shouldn't have done that, or you should do this, or, and I didn't need that. I just needed somebody to fucking understand me. But we're not related to in that way, for the most part. People don't get that men need nurturing and comfort. And, we have a saying amongst men that the best way to get over a woman is to get with another woman. And there's many reasons for that I would say aren't particularly healthy. It's because, we need to dust ourselves off and move on. But we just take the hurt to the next person, the next person, the next person. We want that comfort. We want that nurturing. And we conflate sex and nurturing a lot of times. We're not used to being touched. Good friend of mine, Heather Ray Dawn, who's an amazing healer, actually posted on this. That most men conflate any physical touch with sexual arousal. And that just having somebody hold you and cuddle with you and tell you you're going to be okay triggers an arousal versus receiving the nurturing and the comfort. And there's also the, I better get with somebody because I don't know if I'm going to ever find somebody again. The scarcity. Because we're not used to being nurtured or related to in a way where our feelings, the fact that we have feelings, are validated. The fact that we have feelings are acknowledged. And the fact that it's okay for us to have feelings. Because that's the societal thing too. Like, suck it up. What are you crying about? What's with all the feeling stuff? You're a man. Be a man. Man up. And so we man up with broken hearts. We man up turned inside out. We man up thinking we just have to push forward until we fucking die. And that's no way to live. So if there is a man in your life, on any level, reach out to him. Ask him how he's doing. Tell him you love him. Tell him you're there for him. And if there's a woman in your life, reach out to her. Tell her you love her and you're there for her. Ask her how she's feeling. Because we all got shit. We're all dealing with shit. And nobody should have to feel heartbreak and pain. Not knowing that there's a way to get support and love and understanding. We don't have to do it alone. That's why I do what I do. So we don't have to do it alone. Thanks for watching.